Hey guys, it's Shade here, and today I'm going to be doing a Borderlands 1 tier list of every character in the game, at least in my opinion. So I recently got every single character to level 69, and I'm just going to do a quick little tier list to kind of just explain, in my opinion, what characters are better, which characters are worse, which ones are more fun, and stuff like that, blah blah blah. Gonna be kind of a dumb tier list, but I mean, hey, that's how I do my videos, right? So, fuck it. Anyways, let's get on to the tier list. Last on the list, sadly, is Brick. Now, don't get me wrong, Brick is a very fun character to play. In my opinion, he's one of the most fun characters to play because of his ability. Because, you know, who doesn't like getting right in front of enemies' faces and punching the crap out of them? That's pretty fun. But, sadly, when it comes to his overall tier compared to the other characters, he's just not as good. When it comes to damage, really all he has is Revenge, which is a kill skill, where after you kill an enemy, you get increased damage with all weapons, which is very good, especially when it's maxed out, you get 50% extra damage, which is pretty good in itself. But really, when it comes to damage, that's all he has, other than a little bit of extra explosive damage, which is pretty situational when it comes to your gun element. And I mean, you get some fire rate on some rocket launcher stuff, but rocket launchers aren't that good in this game, in my opinion. They're really not. So what Brick excels in is survivability. He has a great tank skill tree, which gives you a lot of extra shield strength, maximum health, damage resistance, and also his unbreakable skill is very powerful in the sense of how fast you get shield strength. Not counting, with the tank skill tree, you can pop your ability, which will give you really fast regen and will get you back up to max health very quick. But other than that, that's all he has, sadly. Brick's good at getting in front of people's faces and surviving, but when it comes to damage, he just doesn't give enough to actually perform as well as the other characters do. Now, coming up in the third spot is Roland. Now, Roland overall is a pretty average character when it comes to his skill tree and what he can do. His turrets in itself, or his skill, really isn't that helpful. They don't really do enough damage, nor do they heal you enough. You're mainly just using turrets as a distraction, at least that's what I used them for. Now, when it comes to his skills, Metal Storm is what carries him. Metal Storm is very powerful in the sense of, let's say you have a shotgun that shoots slow that does a lot of damage, or SMG, assault rifles, anything. Metal Storm will buff that gun like crazy, not counting his other skills you can spec into, which give you extra magazine size and recoil reduction, which will just make Metal Storm even more efficient. That's really what Roland has when it comes to damage. He'll have some extra shotgun damage, he'll have a grenadier skill that gives him extra grenade damage and, you know, regenerates grenades, which isn't bad. And when it comes to survivability, all he really has is, you know, his medic tree, which gives you a little bit of bullet resistance and maximum health. He also has some shield stuff and support as well. But you have stat, which isn't awful. It gives you some extra regeneration, which does help, but it's not by much. But when it comes to Roland, Metal Storm is what you're going to be relying on in your mag size. That's what carries him when it comes to damage. So he can actually put out some decent damage, especially depending upon what guns you are using. But without Metal Storm, honestly, Roland really isn't anything, and that's why he's third on the list. Now, second on the list is Mordecai. Mordecai, via his survivability and his damage, is very powerful, and I feel like not a lot of people talk about it. So first, let's get started with his survivability. He has Bloodwing, which Bloodwing can attack up to 6 people, can daze them, which makes him easier for you to kill, and can also transfer up to 35% of the damage it does to health towards you, which is great for survivability, especially in the sense of if you need to sit behind cover, heal up some, just throw Bloodwing, and then boom, there you go. He does some damage for you, and then now you have health. Not counting, Bloodwing's a good way to find enemies that you might struggle to find. Now, when it comes to his damage, he has Trespass, for example, which it lets you shoot through enemy shields, which is very powerful, especially for some enemies in this game have some pretty powerful shields. So that in itself is very helpful, not counting extra sniper damage, not counting more magazine size towards your snipers, and his killer kill skill is so powerful, gives you 40% extra damage and 30% extra reload speed as a kill skill. That's almost like Revenge. Almost better when you think about it because of the reload speed you have. Very powerful. Now you get the Gunslinger, which gives you killer shot damage as Relentless, which gives you a 25% extra chance to do 100% extra damage on your shot. Not counting your fire rate goes up to 40%, so Relentless is very powerful. Then you have extra Bloodwing cooldown for even more survivability, 30% extra critical hit damage, 40% chance to fire 2 shots, and 50% of your maximum health healed over 7 seconds as a kill skill. All of this combined makes Mordecai a beast when it comes to using revolvers like Mashers, Defilers, snipers like the Orion, Skull Masher, the Bessie, whatever you get your hands on. Mordecai is very powerful in the sense of sitting back, doing damage. Even if you have to get up to people's faces, you can. But sitting behind cover, using Bloodwing to get that health, to keep yourself alive, to pump out that much damage with snipers, revolvers, and even whatever you're using, all of that combined makes Mordecai a very powerful character to use, and overall one of the best bolt hunters in the game. Now, coming in at the top spot is Lilith. She has the best survivability and damage in the game, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to her ability, Phase Walk, she basically can go invisible and go past anything you want to get past. But let's say you're low in health, pop Phase Walk. You can go invisible, no one's going to shoot at you, you can relocate to any cover, any area you want to be, and you'll basically have your health back, especially for the skills that she has that helps you regenerate health while you're in Phase Walk. Then you have, you know, stuff like extra fire rate, or extra bullet velocity and bullet damage. You have extra critical hit. You have damage reduction right after Phase Walk, so let's say Phase Walk doesn't go too well. You'll take damage reduction so you don't instantly die right after your ability, which is nice. You have skills like Intuition, which give you 50% extra movement speed after you kill someone as a kill skill. That movement speed in itself can get you away from situations that you don't want to be in. That in itself is survivability. And again, Phase Walk. Let's say you don't want to fight enemies. Let's say there's a really powerful enemy you just want to get by and don't want to fight. Pop Phase Walk. They won't see you. You're invisible. Now, when it comes to her damage, where she shines is her class mods. In my opinion, SMGs are the most powerful class of gun in the game. You can, especially when it comes to the Stingers and Double Anarchies. But her Mercenary class mod gives you 60%, sometimes even more, SMG damage, which on top of the SMGs that you have in this game, which are already powerful by themselves, is insane damage. So you're basically shredding health bars without you even realizing. Like, they're just dead, right? And let's say something does go bad, and you have somehow gotten low health because you couldn't kill an enemy fast enough. Again, you have Phase Walk. Just go invisible, and they can't do anything to you. This is why Lilith, in my opinion, is the best character in the game, because of the damage she can put out with her class mods, and just the overall survivability she has with her ability, and the regen you get from the ability itself. Now, I do want to clear some things up that I didn't say before. The class mods also kind of carry Roland and Mordecai as well. Like Mordecai, for example, he can get extra revolver regen, so you basically don't have to rely on an equalizer all the time, and you can constantly use a master and you'll never run out of ammo, which is very nice. Then you have Roland, which you can get a class mod that gives you even more Metal Storm, and Metal Storm is what Roland basically relies on, and that in itself is more fire rate, which is very powerful. But yeah, the class mods are very important for these characters as well, but I think Lilith has the best class mods because of the extra SMG damage she has. But anyways, there's my tier list for Borderlands 1. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what I screwed up on. Well, let me know if it was terrible. Even then, I just did this for fun anyways. So, you know, if it is, I apologize, but I do appreciate y'all watching. This was definitely a new type of video for me. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day, and yeah, shade out.